Hi, I'm Bari. I'm the founder and designer behind Helena Beetle. I've been making sustainable knitwear for the past 4 years and recently just completed my first solo show called The Moon Rises. So I started this show with some archive pieces. It was like, I want to say 7 looks of pieces that I've either showcased before or just kind of had in the vault that I really wanted to bring to life again. Shows are so special because we get to really like bring life and form and function and movement to the pieces that I get to create, and seeing them on live bodies just hits different than on a rack. All right, and now getting into the new collection. So Jamie opened the show because she is just such an incredible model and human being. She does amazing community events. Shout out for the girls, that's her and Leah. But she has been modeling with me since my first ever show, and that was back in February of 2022. So it was really cool to have like these full circle moments of girls that were in my first show, second show, third show, whatever it may be, all coming back together for this. It was definitely a cool challenge piece. Like, I love making asymmetrical, very flowy, shiny, and like very textured pieces. So hers was honestly one of my favorite looks I've ever done. It just came together, and it was one of those things where I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. Backstage before the show, I was still adding some stitches to it just to get it to fit correctly, and I could not be happier with how it turned out. Menswear, Victor, let's get into it. He did amazing. I always try to push myself to work with male models because I don't typically create menswear. It's just foreign to me. I know nothing about men's fashion, quite frankly. Like, I try to help my fiance get dressed and like he pulls better looks than I do. I just can't. But it's always fun to work with different shapes and silhouettes and bodies, and making pants is something I started doing about a year ago. It's honestly really cool. Like, it's not as fun as dresses. Like, I can't lie. I love making dresses. I love making just like sexy clothes for women, but throwing in pants and more, universal pieces has always been really important to me because I want every single body, regardless of how you identify, how you choose to express yourself, what your size is, I want every single body to feel represented and welcome in my pieces. That's always been at the core of why I do this. The red looks, oh my god. And side note, Leah fucking ate down on the runway. She was serving Ice Queen with a little bit of Ariel from The Little Mermaid. It was amazing. But the red looks, that was kind of like a driving force for this show. I don't know if it's in frame, but the red dress behind me was actually the first piece I made for the collection, and it kind of heavily inspired every other piece because I wanted it to be dark and romantic and juicy and just different than what I've done before. So I incorporated red into a more simple silhouette, but I still kept the little fuzzy ruffle on the bottom, and we added a cool headpiece that got tucked inside, and it just came to life so effortlessly. Everything you see, and then the shirt that I'm wearing, Kayla modeled it and she did so beautifully. She makes some of the most amazing just videos on new upcoming brands, and getting to work with people who just give such a fuck about fashion and upcoming designers and small businesses, like, that fills my heart to no end. Because like, what do you mean you care about this stuff? Like, I'm just doing stuff. It's crazy. I don't know. Alpha stole the show. It was just the dress. It was the moment. It's the only real piece from the collection that I shot promo in. Really beautiful. I loved playing more with clean lines instead of my usual super rough, super asymmetrical, very ripped. I really wanted to lean into something more clean and streamlined and symmetrical and neat. So that was a really cool way to challenge myself. But yeah, like, just seeing all the pieces come together and come to life was better than I could have imagined. Carly, if you don't know, she was the one who did the installation in the front room. So we had showcasing artists on one wall, and then she did this insane display with drapes and some of my like knit pieces and candles, and it was so romantic and beautiful. That was like kind of the finishing touch on the show that really transformed the space, because as soon as you enter, you're not just in like some warehouse, some building in Tampa, Florida. You're in like a very curated space, and I really wanted people to almost step through a portal to really get into the mindset of like, we're here for a show. one of the things that kept coming up for me while I was making it and working on things was that this is just coming home to myself. In the arts community, a lot of us have been really having a wintering, a little bit of a withering away, a step back, restfulness, but it's all to bring us back home, and home is creating, connecting, art, love, all of it, and being with community. So that was kind of the key pillar of this collection. It just really drove home the fact that like I was coming home to myself through this collection. It reminded me why I started in the first place. It's the first time I've finished a show, finished a collection, came to a wrap on a project essentially where I wasn't ready to quit after, and all I want is to do it again. It still hasn't really set in the fact that so many people came to the show. Like, that blows my mind. You couldn't even get like a video of the amount of people wrapped around the block, and I'm like, y'all all came to see me? And it also just kind of reminds me of like, we all show up for each other, and that is so raw to be able to support our community of artists, of creatives, of passionate fucking people. We all give a shit about this, and the fact that people are putting their money where their mouth is, showing up, showing out, buying tickets, buying clothes, going to the events, whether it's mine, whether it's someone else's. Like, we have such a thriving creative scene, and to see the support that we give each other, that brings me so much life and so much love and so much gratitude, because this shit matters. All of us matter. What we're doing is so important if we want the creative scene to keep going forward, and I'm just so grateful. And that's a wrap on The Moon Rises, only on Arkive. This has been Serving Cunt on Camera, only with Arkive. I can't do that.